up today, guys and gals? I wanted to come on today and shoot a quick video. I've not been on in a little over a week, so it was time. And today's going to be maybe a touchy subject for other photographers who might be seeing this, but hopefully encouraging for photographers who are coming into the game, maybe, or maybe they're stuck. Maybe you're having an issue getting your vision across. So maybe this technique or this challenge that I want to propose today is for you. So let's go. So the topic of today is not new, but it's my take on it. So we're just going to jump right in. Your equipment won't make or break you in photography. Like bombs exploding, heads exploding. Hear me out though. What I mean by that is, like, absolutely, cameras are a tool. There's no denying that. Just like you wouldn't pick up a ruler to hammer a nail, you definitely want the tool that fits the job. I'm not arguing that at all before people start, dropping harsh comments. What I'm saying is, we often, myself in particular, or as well, find ourselves wanting the newest and the greatest equipment coming out. Everybody knows, if you've seen any of my videos, I'm a Fuji guy. Love Fuji. I've had a lot of different cameras. I've had Canons. I've had 3 Canons. I've had Olympus. I've had Sony mirrorless. Olympus was micro four thirds. So full frame DSLRs, full frame mirrorless. I've jumped around a little bit through my years of shooting until I finally found what works the way that I want it to work, and that's my Fuji. I've said in the past, and I'm shooting again today on the X Pro 2, hopefully in 4K. Video's still new to me, so it is what it is. But what I mean when I say your equipment doesn't make or break you is, if you take what equipment you have and shoot a lot, you're not only going to learn your equipment better, you're also going to learn how to use that equipment in the way that suits you best. Now, that doesn't always mean that what you have in your camera bag right now is the end-all piece of equipment. I'm not saying that. I'm not delusional. I will buy new stuff just as well. But I challenge you to buy the stuff that's going to make you a better photographer, not because you think the equipment will do that for you, but because it's a piece of equipment that will help you get your vision across. For example, I currently shoot, and I'm recording this on the XF 16mm by Fuji, which is amazing. I could do a separate review just on this lens, honestly. And I shoot it for portraits sometimes, and I don't mind the distortion all the time. But if you do landscapes and things that aren't just people, it's phenomenal. The minimal focal distance is great. It's almost macro capable. I can really get down there and get some tight shots of the things, the rings or whatever that is I'm shooting at a wedding, or flowers, or whatever. I'm not shooting insects, so not that micro capable. And then on the opposite end of that spectrum, I shoot the XF90, which honestly is my favorite lens almost ever. I think the only, maybe 2, the only lens that I know for a fact that I've owned that I liked more was the Zeiss 55 for the Sony system. It was literally the sharpest lens I've ever owned. Like almost too sharp, if that makes sense. Now then, I also owned on my Olympus system the Panasonic Leica Nocticron, which was also amazing. I miss both of those lenses, but for their own different characteristics, and they provided that tool differently. But what both of those have in common, and the 2 lenses that I currently have now have in common, are their primes. That's no news that primes are a lot of people's weapon of choice in the community, in the photography community. And honestly, since only shooting primes, I think my work has improved. I think it makes me approach the process and the project differently, And that's exciting, but at the same time, it makes you not get so carried away with what's happening before you. For example, you're shooting a wedding, and if you've got this zoom lens and you see this event happening, you're zooming in and out and firing, which is fun. I'm not saying you can't do that. Amazing photographers all over the world have zoom lenses. Don't misunderstand me here. What I'm saying is what works for me, and that's what I'm trying to get across to you today. Is if you find one lens. A lot of people like the 50 millimeter. I'm a 35 millimeter guy. I love that 35 millimeter focal length. Personally, it's wide enough for street photography, which I've grown to love. It's wide enough for most architecture and scenic stuff, and it doesn't render portraits negatively, in my opinion. I think they're very realistic. It may not be the most natural photo. I think 50 millimeter gets the title for the most accurate portrait of a person, per focal length. But what I'm saying is, if you learn this equipment that you have, or even if you pick up a new equipment and you learn that before you get so starstruck by the newest and the latest and the greatest, your work's going to improve. Instead of spending all of this time looking at new equipment, watching the reviews on new equipment, and like diving in head first on what you want next, put that much effort into shooting. Put that much effort into maybe making your own presets if that's something you're into. Making relationships in the community with models, with people that you want to shoot. Make those connections. Spend that time branding yourself. It'll be more beneficial in the end, I promise. And I'm just as guilty, 1000%. If my wife watches this, she's hands to the Lord. She knows what I'm saying. I'm very manic about purchases. I really get excited about it. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, I kind of get lost in that process sometimes. I'll lose track of time because I really want to understand why I want what I want, what I hope to produce with that product, whatever it is, and why that tool will be the best option for me. I do some reviews. I do ask advice from friends and peers of mine, but it all comes down to what works for you. So maybe you're stuck in a rut. I mentioned that in the beginning. Maybe you're in this position to where, and we've all been there. It is fun to admit it. It happens. We all get stuck in this rhythm. Our work's kind of looking the same maybe, or it's not what you want. I get really hung up on people. I see these images that I'm just like blown away by. Then the before and after, and I'm like, oh man, it was a good photograph, but it's an amazing edit. And that really is a different topic for a different day. It's a pet peeve of mine to an extent. I'm not saying don't edit your photos at all. I'm just saying I would much rather personally be a better photographer than I am an image manipulator. We'll leave it at that for now. The hate mail's rolling in. But, so I want to challenge you. If you're stuck in a rut, if you think your work is getting mundane maybe, or maybe you are trying to find this new creative process, here's what we do. Take whatever camera you own, doesn't matter, point and shoot, I do not care. I've said this thing in the past, Ryan Muirhead, amazing, like, just incredible photographer. One of his favorite images he's ever taken, so he says, was with a $5 film camera from the Goodwill or the Salvation Army or somewhere that he taped to the ceiling and shot down. It's a self-portrait, and it was $5. That makes my head hurt. I'm not gonna lie. He didn't spend a lot of time editing in Photoshop either. It was film. He developed it, and it's amazing. But any of that. So take whatever camera you have. Pick one lens. And I'm not saying this for your clients. Don't take this challenge straight to work. I mean, do it some at work, absolutely. You'll see what I mean when I say it makes you think differently. At least I hope you do. But maybe just around the house, or maybe with your children, or your pets, or out in nature, whatever it is that you enjoy doing when you're not shooting for pay, maybe. take one camera, one focal length, and that's it. And really see what you can do with that for a week. 1 week. Leave the zoom at home if you can. If that's all you have, it's fine. Just try to leave it at a set focal length. Maybe you prefer those tight zooms. I like the 135mm length. I really love that compression. So maybe you zoom that out to the furthest, 200mm if it's a 7200 or whatever, and then you lock that dude down. You don't change it. I mean, you can, but don't. Not for this challenge. This is specific. Just to see how that makes you rethink the composition, makes you rethink the approach, your placement, and try to shoot less. I know I said shoot before, but what I mean is don't take 47 photos of the exact same thing hoping that you got it. Get it. Nail the shot. Move on. Don't waste all this time and energy with thousands of photos you have to sort through. Take the shot, take a breath, look at the back of the camera, zoom in real tight. If you've got focus and you're happy with it, moving on. It'll be a relief. It has been for me. Shooting mirrorless has been a huge relief for me in that fact. I can set the exposure exactly the way I want it out of camera, and I'm not having to shoot and check. That does happen sometimes when I'm shooting off camera flash, but I mean, I recently shot some photos of my friend Tyler, not even 2 minutes, and I've got the lighting that I want. I might change the placement of it if the shadows are coming in harsh, if he moves, or obviously, I mean, that's not new. That's not news to any of you probably watching this. And we're talking about off camera flash today. One camera, one lens, and I want to see what you do. I want to see what shots you're taking. Show me your favorites. Drop comments below. Share with me your Instagram account. I would love to come check those out. Maybe let's use a hashtag just so we can keep those together. That should have been thought out before we started this. Let's just do something simple like one lens and go. Hashtag one lens and go. Let's spell it all out. One, O-N-E, lens and go. I've not searched that. I hope that's not a popular hashtag before this. B-roll, that's what we should do. We should edit all this out. But I'm not going to. If y'all haven't learned that by now, this is who I am. It's what you get every time. I'm not going to correct my mistakes by editing this video. I'm going to let it roll, and I want to be genuine with you, and I want my work to be genuine, and if you have questions, I want to be genuine in my responses. I genuinely want to meet you all and follow your work. So if you use that hashtag one lens and go, that's what we decided on. I'll search that going forward for as long as it takes, or tag me in the photo. My Instagram's at Jeremy, Jeremy, period, Gouge, Googe. Tag me. I'd love to see it. I will comment on there. I will make sure to show you that I appreciate that you watched this for one, and that you are taking this step, maybe not to improve yourself, but maybe just to refresh yourself. Maybe you're just like bored with what's happening and you just need a new take. And if that's the case, pick a lens you don't normally get. Don't grab that 50mm out today. Grab that 135 or grab that 35 or grab that 12. Go outside, shoot some wild, super wide stuff. Doesn't matter. These are for you. They're your personal work. Maybe your client will love them. Maybe they'll find you someone that you haven't been booking in the past. I don't know. That's not what this is about. The equipment's not going to make or break you. That's what I'm talking about today. Yes, you want the tool that's going to suit you best and that feels right and it does what you tell it to do. My X Pro 2 is currently that camera for me. I don't see that changing, exactly yet. The XH1 is intriguing to me. It's very intriguing to me. I don't shoot a lot of video outside of this, so it doesn't make sense yet. I really want to see what happens to the next X Pro 2. I'm loving this rangefinder style camera. I like having a conversation with people on the side of the camera. I don't want to be hiding behind it. I'm bad at that anyway. I don't like having my photo taken either. So I'm trying to engage. I'm trying to be involved, and that's made a difference, I think. But get out and shoot. Don't one camera. I mean that. You leave that second body at home, and even if this is your phone, I challenge you to use your phone for this. It doesn't matter. Don't be pinching and zooming though. You walk up to get the composition you want. You walk back to get the composition that you're looking for. It doesn't matter. Shoot in black and white, which is what I love to do. That's a whole new subject as well. Why I shoot in camera, black and white, a lot of the time. But that's for another time. So, comment below. Instagram though, I want to know your Instagram accounts. And if you don't use Instagram, Facebook, 500px, Flickr, wherever you share your pictures, throw that below. I'll come check it out. I want to see what you're doing. I want to see if you take this advice, if this makes sense to anybody but me. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I'm just rambling today. But I promise, if you will get out, no matter what level of skill that you have, whether you're starting, whether you're professional, whether you are just a hobbyist and you just want to have fun, challenge yourself. Life is too short to get stuck in a rut or a rhythm. That's what I'm trying to say. Get out, do something different for a week, 1 week. And I don't mean you have to shoot every single day. I know life happens. It's hard. Running a business is hard. Having kids and family and events, it's hard. But find a day, even if it's throughout the day. Maybe you take some photos of your food that you're eating. It doesn't matter. But no zooming, if you can help it. One camera, one glass, and let's use the hashtag. Hashtag one lens and go. And I look forward to seeing what you all produce. And until then, later.